So today we're actually going to be looking at a video that CNN did, and they were asking, I believe it was 10 and 11-year olds about who they would vote for if they were of age to do so, the Kamalas or the Trumps. Okay, so let's just go ahead and look at said video and then we'll get into it.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear Donald Trump?
Pure evil.
Which one do you think is more selfish?
Like selfish, probably her.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah, because girls are a little bit dramatic sometimes.
And do you think that people in the United States are ready to have another 4 years of Donald Trump if he's reelected?
No,
Why not?
because I feel like all he does is complain and yell.
So we're actually going to replay and I'm gonna stop it, but overall, I guess I'm confused. What are we really gaining by asking this? I mean, what these are 10 and 11-year olds. What are we really asking them? Because at the end of the day, when I first saw this video, I was just kind of like, okay, this is interesting, but 9 times out of 10, they're just listening to whatever their parents told them. Case in point was the girl. Who do you think's the most selfish? Her, because girls are dramatic. Ooh, explain, elaborate. And you could ask any of these kids since we're talking about this. I mean, we're going to talk, let's talk. So we're talking about this. Okay, can you explain? Can you elaborate upon why you said that girls are dramatic? What does she do that is dramatic? And then you won't have anything. So where'd you even get that from? It's probably your father or whoever in your life that told you this. Okay, the person's a liar. Explain to me what this person actually said. I mean, and then you wouldn't have anything. You're just asking them a question that they could have just heard from their mother, their father, or any, if they watch CNN, MSNBC, any of these other places, ABC, all the mainstream medias. They could just been listening to them and whatever it is that they're saying. But this is important because you have a lot of people who are of age. You have a lot of people who are 18 years old who are adults and they just repeat the same talking points, and then it's like, okay, let's have a conversation. Doesn't have to be anything too in depth, too crazy, but it's like, okay, let's have a conversation. And then it's like, oh well, I mean, I don't really know, because they're just listening and repeating what it is that someone else just said. But then if I go and ask, okay, could you elaborate just a little bit on that? What is it that you heard? Maybe I don't know. I want to learn a little bit more information. Could you just elaborate on it a little bit more? And it's always like, well, I mean, he just is. Well, what has he done? Well, we can't last another 4 years. Okay, but if if this 2025, because I only first heard about that from Taraji P Henson when I was seeing the little clips from BET Awards, even though I didn't really watch that because the performances really weren't all that and everything else that was going on anyways. But when I first heard about that, I was like, oh, Project 2025. I was like, see a part of it. Then you saw that he was saying no. And then people were like, oh, his name is three, and, mentioning there 300 times and yada, yada, yada. But then he kept saying no. Same thing with the abortion. People are like, oh, he's not for abortion yet. And then I'm like, okay. And then I heard him say, he said, I wouldn't do it at the federal level, but it would be held for, I wouldn't ban it at the federal level, but it would be held for at the state level. States can decide, even though I personally would say just codify, but whatever. So whatever with that. And I'm like, okay, but what he just said and what they just said are two different things. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, could we elaborate on some of the stuff? Like some people say, like, oh, well, he's racist. And it's like, okay, well, let me know what happened. Well, he just is. Mm, Can I get, I mean, you could easily bring it back to his real estate up in New York, because they even had, I did a video on it, but they even had, where they had like mock people to try to see if they could go and rent some apartments or something like that. And you had a white person, you had a black person. The black person went in first, and they said, "Oh man, we fresh out." White person comes in after, and then it's like, "Oh yeah, we got this one, we got this," and it's like, "Wait, hold up, now make it make sense." I came, you said no, she go, you said yeah, something going on, okay? So I would say something like that, but people would say like, "Oh man, we can't handle another 4 years." Well, what happened in the 4 years? And this, hey, I'm not saying I'm voting for any, either side or whatever, or what any of that kind of stuff. But what I will be saying is this: I did have more money under him, and it wasn't them little stimulus checks. I will say that. Okay. My gas are cheaper, my eggs are cheaper, my grocery bill was cheaper. I mean, I had more money, Now it's like, ugh. If I went to the grocery store, let's say in a week for two people, I'm spending, let's say, $100. And I'm talking about for two people. Okay. Let's say it's $100. Now it's like 150 for the same stuff. I love me some turkey bacon. I just made some today. So I go and look before the turkey bacon, let's just say it was like 275. Let's just bring it up. Now it's like 310 for the same thing. And it's not like, oh, they're running the sale, so that's what. No, it's like that's its normal price. Eggs went up, my milk went up. They even changed the brand, design, and everything. I was like, but I'm like, okay, all this stuff is going up, but my wages aren't going up. My wages weren't going up. I have no money. I still don't have any money. It's like I feel like I was in a better financial state. And then people keep saying, oh, it was the stimulus checks, and I was watching these two people online doing their podcast. They were like, man, y'all keep talking about these stimulus checks. Keep stopping. Meanwhile, they're making over $100,000 a year. So yeah, 1,800, what was it? 600, 600, 1,200 and 18, I think. Yeah, $1,800, $600, $1,200 a lot to people who are only making $50,000. Even if you make a $60,000, heck, even if you make a $70,000 a year, $600 is a lot of money. Okay, $1,000 is a lot of money. $1,800 is a lot of money. When you're making 100 grand a year, you're like, see, that ain't that much money. Well, because we're not in the same tax bracket. That's also why I don't get why people be listening to these celebrities, where you got your Taylor Swifts and you got all your other people. I don't care for or against whoever it is that you're looking at, but I don't need to hear anything y'all got to say, because this is not a racial thing that's going on. Okay, whether her, him, whatever. This has nothing to do with that. This is a class battle. What do I need to hear a billionaire telling me, oh, you need to vote for her? You gonna give me some of your billions because you're getting tax cuts and I'm not? You're probably only paying about 8% in taxes, honey. And someone like me paying if you're 1099, 30%, 25%, 27%. Ooh. You see the difference there? So I'm not going to go and listen to somebody who is making millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars or billions of dollars. That's how much they're worth. Telling me who to vote for. No, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Whether that is vote for whoever I want to vote for, sit on the couch and not do it, whatever the case may be. Because, I just be sitting up here and looking. I'm like, we are not in the same tax bracket. Why do I care what a celebrity got to say? Oh, well, because, I have influence. You ain't got influence over me. And that's what another thing I don't understand. You got all these people, same with these kids, who just be listening. Oh, well, this person said don't vote for him because of what? Taraji P. Henson's going to come up there doing all this. Oh, well, he got the 2025 project 2025. Oh, well, we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't. I think you need to have several seats, because if we're going to talk about pay and stuff like that, let's move the topic over to that. Okay, because when Monique was talking about how Netflix was, even though her special wasn't all that good at that time I saw, but the movie was good. Okay, but like the reading and the deliverance. But outside of that, when Monique was coming out here and was over here saying, yo, I need more money from you because I'm at a certain level, I should be getting paid more. Y'all were silent. Mrs. Taraji P. Henson's. You were silent. You were quiet. You had nothing to say. I didn't hear anything from you. Okay, we know Viola Davis, she's been talking for a while. I haven't seen it big in the news, but I know she's been talking for a while about the pay discrepancy. Taraji, I know that you were saying some stuff here and there, but I remember Monique was the one that was in the media like that. And everyone was like, I ain't saying anything. And then this comes out with your color purple. And then now oh, well, yeah, about the money. You see, they ain't paying us that much. I mean, I got a $2 million, $5 million, $15 million home, but I mean, I'm not getting paid that much money. I need some more money. They over here treating black women like crap. But when you had a black woman that was there to help you out and you had nothing to say. But now you over here, oh, well, now let me go and talk about some politics. I don't want to hear it. Okay, girl. Okay, you ain't even stand up for your own self. And you expect me to think that voting for Kamala is not going to be in the interest of all black people, even though she said I ain't doing anything for black folks? Girl, bye. All right, I'm gonna have to cut this into two separate. But let's get into this video. Let's just listen to it one more time.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
Okay, so he said Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris, I call her Kamala, liar. Who told him that? Where did he hear that from? Maybe he watches the news. I don't know. I know when I was younger, 10, 11, I was watching the news every morning. Okay. Ooh, it was this one white dude on there. I was like, ooh, okay. But I remember I was watching the news, maybe, okay, or not. And someone's over here whispering,
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear Donald Trump?
Pure evil.
and who told you that? But let's continue. I don't want to keep stopping.
Which one do you think is more selfish?
Like selfish? Probably her.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah, because girls are a little bit dramatic sometimes.
And
And the girl looked nervous when she was saying that because she probably doesn't necessarily think it's true, but she's heard it from whoever it is in her family that is telling her this. Okay. And I'm not going over here saying like, oh, well, girls ain't dramatic, da 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 da. But in terms of running a country, this is a woman, not a little girl. So who is telling you this?
do you think that people in the United States are ready to have another 4 years of Donald Trump if he's reelected?
No,
Why not?
because like I feel like all he does is like complain and like yell.
So let's say she's 11 years old. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7-ish years old. Okay. What did he do to you? You said that he complains and he yells. Okay, but what did he do to you? What did he do to people? I mean, that's the thing. This is why this interview makes no sense. We're just asking people questions, but little kids questions. But then it's like you're not elaborating. If I'm gonna ask you a question, I mean, if we're gonna do some stuff, we're gonna talk. Let's talk. Okay. And I say this all the time. I'm like, we're gonna talk. Let's talk. And what I mean by that is this: if we're gonna talk about a certain topic, let's let it all out on the table. If we're gonna have these softball little, little tidbits, oh well, let's teeter totter, and then let's not talk about it. If we're gonna do all the, oh well, I'm not even okay. All right. So if we're gonna talk, let's talk. If you're gonna have them on here, I'm not saying we gotta like give them some hard questions or anything like that, but just say, hey, could you elaborate a little bit for me? Just for a little context, could you just elaborate? Oh, I mean, he yells. Okay, but yelling, does that equate to being bad? Or I guess I'm confused. Could you elaborate onto how that is bad in terms of leadership? Okay, could you elaborate how being a female is bad in terms of leadership? I mean, just dramatic in what way? Because some people could say that Donald is also dramatic. Get my point? You see, so I was like, what's even the point of this? But y'all, let me know what y'all think down below. Hello, hello, hello. I would greatly appreciate it if you can actually support my little small business called Latrice Limited. It is on latricelimited.com. So as you can see right here, I actually sell candles and a wide variety of other items as well. This is my big forehead, okay? But I actually want to show you just a couple of different items that I do sell. This is actually going to be a part of my soap collection that I have. As you can see, I have a variety of different soaps on here. I actually have 2 pages worth of soaps, and everything is handmade, okay, natural, clean ingredients as well. You can also see right here, these are my candles. All right, they're all handmade, everything vanilla, sweet roses, sage and vanilla and sweet roses are actually my favorite scents that I do have. I also have a few other items on here. I'm actually going to go and show you all the bath bombs that I do have. As you all can see, there's eucalyptus and sage, sweet pea harmony, and so many more. And then we're just going to finish off on the gift sets that I have. There's a variety of them, from like the big ones like this for $45, and then you have some of the smaller ones, and you have these itty bitty ones down here that includes essential oil blends. Definitely shop with your girl. Definitely help your girl out. I would greatly appreciate it. This is like my little baby over here, okay? I would greatly appreciate it and enjoy.